I'd like to.
Oh, hi. everybody. You want me to give you a few headlines?
Right now.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Let's see. Geraldo Rivera sailing off into the sunset.
Well, he's retired now.
Calling it a day.
Yep.
How about this? The summer of snakes on the boardwalk.
Nope. Negative.
No.
That's a no?
That's a big
Phobia.
no for me.
This is on
not-
the Coney Island boardwalk, I think. It's become a big thing, guys out there letting you hold snakes and
I
things.
won't go there.
No, I
you
haven't
wouldn't
really
do
had
that?
the
Decided.
want to go.
What would you have
but
to be paid to hold that snake?
There's no amount of money.
There is none.
None. There's no
That's so
absolutely.
funny. I didn't know that about both of us.
Oh yeah.
You guys both hate snakes.
We both have an irrational fear.
I have a rational fear of birds. Actually, the 3 deadly bees: birds, bats, butterflies. Terrified.
Mine are
Terrified.
snakes and sidewalk grates.
Fearful
Revol-
falling through.
I will not step on one. I will go completely around.
I did actually scare you in Chicago.
You
when
did,
I did,
yeah.
'cause I walk on
and
them.
when
I
other
have no
people,
fear.
it makes me and then revolving doors. I won't go through those either.
I really don't like
That's
revolving doors.
irrational, and I know it.
That's awkward though. if somebody goes in with you, that's awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's
awkward.
Super awkward.
Yeah.
But it won't. I
Yeah.
will never.
Wow.
Only odd
Let's get
people.
going.
Odd people do
yeah,
that.
no, I don't
Did you
wanna
know
hold
at the
you.
U.S. Open, even the ball boys have to go through qualifying, and
Who
ball
would have
girls.
known?
I did not know that.
That's,
Well, you can't
that's
just-
apropos for my U.S. Open shirt I got on. Sarah got me that for the podcast.
Wow.
What an
All right,
angel.
enough of this newspaper business. Let's get down to business.
Hey guys, welcome to the podcast.
Hi.
Having us.
Woo! That's a round of applause.
We got to really
Let's
wake
go.
the
Thank you,
studio
audience.
audience
Thank
up.
you,
today.
audience.
Yeah, this is huge. Well, Jeff, today's a special day.
It is, I know.
Yeah, today's a real special day. We have 2/3 of our full Indiana leadership here in the studio with us today.
Heck yeah.
Who have we got in the studio with us today? Go ahead and introduce you guys yourselves.
Samantha from Bloomington.
And I'm Olivia from Indianapolis.
Nice. We've been to both of those.
Yeah.
You
We haven't been to every office, but we do try to get close.
I haven't been to the new Indianapolis office yet. You got a new
Not.
space.
We do. We do.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
very nice.
It is. It is nice. Lots of room for activities.
Where are you located exactly?
5455 West 86th Street.
That pretty much right downtown?
Not at all. No.
Oh, you're out
no.
of town now. The
Yes,
old place
yeah,
was
we,
right
we
there
were
on the circle.
down on. We were on the circle, and it was just too hard to get people there because the parking was just nightmarish
Yeah.
downtown. So we actually get a lot of caregivers that come in and see us now and hang out. We have had a couple of veterans. We had a veteran last week that came in, and it was the most adorable. He was an angel. He really was.
You know, it's funny. I was telling we were dealing with a property manager in a new city the other day, and they said, do a lot of people come in and out? And I said, before the pandemic, when I was in Ashland, Kentucky, we had a lot of staff that would come in and out of the office. We would have clients or their family members come in and out of the office. Then during the pandemic, that went away. I said, I don't know how much that's coming back, but you work downtown on Monument Circle. You were like 10 floors up. Parking was down the block. You had to pay for
Yes.
it. So no one ever came to the office, but now they do. How is that different? Is that cool, or do you?
I love it. Honestly,
Yeah.
I love it just because with the caregivers, a lot of the time we only talk on the phone. A lot of the clients too, we only talk on the phone, and it's nice to be able to put a face. And it is for on their end too. They're like, "Where's Olivia? I've only talked to Olivia. I want to see who this is." So the guy that came in, we have a donut thing going on. Like, I'm obsessed with donuts.
Oh, yeah.
I love donuts, and his grandson sneaks some donuts too. So I knew he was coming into the office. So I got him a donut. I know I probably shouldn't have done that, but that was our thing. That was our thing.
Got to.
Absolutely have to. But it is nice. It is nice to have, especially like family caregivers when they bring their loved ones in who
Sure.
are veterans or clients with us. It is nice to be able to see them and see how we're impacting their life and everything.
Cool.
It is really nice.
And then you started in Bloomington, and the office in Bloomington, we've been there. It's a good flat building, parking lot, edge of town, easy to get to, easy to park. Do you guys have staff and family members that come in and out much?
We do some, not
Yeah.
a lot, but we do some. There's a lot of stairs in the front, so they don't know that. So we just have them go around the back.
I see.
And our building's a bit of a maze, but we like to meet them at the front door. We do have, especially some family caregivers that will bring their family in.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, it's a cool part of the experience. That was something that the Barnesville office used to see quite a bit of before the pandemic. And I see now where my office sits, I can see the front of 650. And I see caregivers coming and going, families coming and going. It's really a cool experience. That's one of the cool parts of our job. So,
Trying to take my water.
Yeah, I thought about it. You know what this guy did to me one time? He shows up at a restaurant, all right? We had ordered appetizers. He shows up late, and I'm drinking my drink. I have my appetizers. This guy shows up. He helps himself to an appetizer. I'm not upset. That's what they're for, sharing. He then takes my drink. Had not ordered a drink. Just starts drinking it. At one point, he looks down. He's like, "Oh, I didn't order that, did I?" No, it's fine, Jeffy. But I'm going to steal this man's water.
Well, let me ask you a question. Seriously, do you think that I took his water?
No, I don't. That's really hard for me to believe, honestly.
Do you
It was water.
No, it wasn't water.
Coke, whatever it was. I just saw his drink and I just took it and started drinking it. That's what you think happened.
I don't think that happened.
I've been to lunch with both of you. I didn't see that behavior, but
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm asking you to take sides right now.
Right.
I'm just saying I didn't observe that behavior when I was with you.
Why don't can the
very
two of you
careful.
introduce your teams? I know we've got Courtney in the room with
We
us here.
do.
Yes, we do.
Do you have one at a time here? I want to hear all about who your staff right now, your nurses, everybody.
Right now, I have Shauna Fox and Elizabeth Sparks. They're both of my DOs. My mom is actually our PRN nurse who does assessments for us and TB tests in the office.
Oh, cool. Your mom's a nurse. My mom's been a nurse for Village Caregiving too.
Yes, my mom loves Village Caregiving.
Yeah. Cool.
My mom,
And-
this has been her favorite job. I've been through all of her jobs, and obviously everybody knows nursing is not easy, and especially since the pandemic, but she absolutely loves this job. She said it's the best job she's had in her entire life, so.
Cool. And your brother Evan worked for us.
Yes.
I understand
Yep.
he just got a job that he was really excited about. Congratulations to him.
Yes.
Happy
Yep.
for him.
Yep. Always excited for him.
Very much. When I started, I had two nurses, Benita, which is Ben's mom, and Lori, which is Olivia's mom. So I never got to see them. I got to talk to them a lot, and they're wonderful. And then we were lucky enough to grow and get Karen Fry. She's in the office now as our nurse. And we have Courtney Jameson. She's over there. And
We love
woohoo!
Courtney.
And honestly, just after one conversation with her, it was funny because we're kind of opposites, but we're exactly alike in the same way. Caregivers don't know the difference. When they call and talk to us, they're like, "I talked to you yesterday." I'm like, "I'm sorry, that was Courtney." They're like, "No, that was you." So we are just very much on the same level, and it's a great team, and I get excited about work.
Okay, which ways are you opposites of each other?
She's very talkative, outgoing, bubbly, and she's just she's always pacing. And then I'm more of a calmer, and I can get a little bit, but she motivates me. So she gets that out of me a little bit more because
Okay.
I mimic people a lot. So if I'm with somebody super quiet and calm, I'm going to be super quiet and calm all day.
Yeah.
And if I'm with somebody that's kind of rowdy, I can kind of be a chameleon like that. So she brings that out of me, and I love
And
that.
what's your biggest similarity with one another?
I think just how we're driven we are. We come from very similar backgrounds, and we're fighters, and we're not going to take that no. We're going to find a way, and we are goals driven. And she will walk up to that board and write a number and circle it and be like, "We're doing that." And I'm like, "Yeah, we are."
Cool.
And I love that about her because I've always been goals driven. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, "This is it. This is it forever." So she's not going anywhere.
Love it.
Anytime that we're interviewing, and recently I was in a city, we're working on recruiting a new executive director for this new market. And a person that I was talking to asked, said, "Well, describe like the background of the perfect fit for this role." And I immediately went to Indiana because we have 3 offices there. Okay. All 3 of you have vastly different backgrounds, but you all 3 are exceptional at what you do, top tier executive directors in the company. So I was like, look, if we ever figure out what someone goes to school for to be an executive director at Village Caregiving, that will help in the recruitment process. But right now, so explain Olivia first, what was your background in when you came to Village Caregiving? What was you doing before you came over to our side?
It was pretty strictly service industry, bartending, bar managing, but it honestly, I like, and like you said, what you look for, and I don't think that you're looking for a degree, or of course there's some fields that help. Like if you've been in healthcare, it's a little bit easier to adapt and understand, but all of the executive directors, they're kind of like little spitfires. Like we all have that will and that urge. And I think all of us have a deep, compassionate side to us.
Yeah.
And we want to help people. And this gives us a way to do that.
Sure. And
Yeah.
we have Sally, who's in Fort Wayne, who makes up the Trinity of Indiana. Her background is in finance. She came from a bank that she was there long term. What was your background in?
So my background was in mental health and then social work. I managed in mental health, and I worked about every job in mental health.
Yeah.
I started in college, so I started at the bottom, just kept working my way up into management, and then I went into social work.
So both of you guys had much different paths to get to Village Caregiving. The training, the formal training, the life experiences, all of that's very different. But you two have forged this alliance out of Bloomington, Indianapolis. You guys are great friends. We see on social media all the time. You guys are out marketing together. You're building this coalition between your two branches. But you guys have very different backgrounds. But what is similar about you two? If we were trying to figure out how to get a version of you two, what would we look for in that? You'd mentioned driven, Spitfire type people, very compassionate. What do you see between each other that we could look for?
Have we evaluated our friendship?
Let's go ahead and do that right now.
Let's dive
doing
into
that right?
it.
Let's go ahead and do that right now.
I know that I'm very much a collaborative person, so my
Yes.
immediate thought was, who's around me, and let's make this work together. That was just my immediate. No one really told me to do that. Well, Ben did suggest to call some EDs and just kind of, what are some good things, bad things that have happened, just to kind of give you a heads up. But my thought was, I need to know Louisville. I need to know Indy. At that time, that was kind of my two around me, and that's what I've done. And if I had a quick question, reach out, check-ins. I know I always tell
Constant.
people, when you're by yourself opening an office, you have that phone and you have it 24/7. And at that point, I think I'd had it was around December. I had it since August, and her brother Evan was the ED at the time. He reached out and he just said, pick a weekend, let me have your phone. And I just remember thinking, like, wow. Like, it was just those thoughtful moments. And
Yeah.
I think that's what really the bond, I think he kind of set that in place. And I've always just felt like I could pick up the phone at any moment and call them. There's no stupid question. I would never feel judged or anything. And if I'm just having a moment and I just need somebody to just, say, just to kind of like give me some feedback, that's always my go-to. So.
Awesome.
I mean, we know it's a stressful job. It can be stressful dealing. It's like herding cats. A lot of times it is like herding cats. But it's having, other people are going through the same experience. And I think we share a pretty big territory of a couple of big cities.
Yeah.
And I know that being able to reach out and be like, listen, I cannot staff this person. I'm in a crisis. Can you please? And we'll help each other in that way. It's kind of just knowing that we have each other's backs and we're going to stop what we're doing and help in any situation. I think that's kind of what we both have with each other. I've called her a ton of times and like, why can't I figure out Excel yet? I cannot call someone higher than me anymore because I can't figure this out.
And if we did it, if we just wanted to be competitive, we totally could. Sometimes we get calls for referrals that are clearly in her territory. And I could totally be like, oh yeah, I got that. That's fine. And she would never know. And I don't. I say, oh no, actually that's Indy. Let me, I can get a hold of them for you if you would like to get a hold of them. And we just, help each other out like that too, for sure.
That's awesome. The culture, we hope that the culture at Village Caregiving as a whole shows up at each branch. It shows up between the branches. And that's something that you guys have done a great job with. I mean, you can see on your social media, you can see when we call and talk with you, stories that you tell while you're in your offices. You guys have a good time while you're at work. I've had jobs where that's not been the case. And I've had jobs where I can have a lot of fun and still get the work done. You guys, is the culture a big part of Village Caregiving for you? What kind of role does that play?
I would say it's probably like 99.9% of my. I've said it like 1,000 times. Like when people from the service industry ask how I'm doing like a desk job, I'm like, I just keep waiting for the other shoe to drop, and I'm waiting for someone to just come down and be like, you did this wrong. It's not like that. You guys are always the most supportive, and the company culture itself is just, it's always kind. It's just the most supportive, and I've never had that. I can honestly say I wake up and I am always excited to go to work. Even if I know it's going to be a stressful day, I don't care. I enjoy going to work. I do. I like it.
Awesome.
And I just feel I feel like since I've come on, I know I was kind of starting over again because I had a kid and I was at home for the first time and I was just kind of reevaluating. What am I doing? Am I going? And this is the first time I felt like I can be a great employee. I can be a great person and a great mom and a great wife because I get to go home at a decent time and be with my kids. And if there's something that happens, I can pop out, take care of it, get back to work. And I know I'm not going to miss out on anything work-wise or home-wise. And that has meant the world to me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. We hear that often, but yeah, it's always nice to hear, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. Do you mind to tell us a little bit about your family? What your home life looked like?
I am single, and I have a little tiny dog that I'm obsessed with.
What's that dog's name?
His name's Brutus, but that was his given name, but I don't think I only call him that at the vet.
Well, what's his home name?
Oh, we don't have enough time for that. No, his first name was, he whined a lot, so I called him Sir Squeaks a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right now, I'm calling him, what am I calling him right now? Pixie Sticks.
Pixie. Now,
Yeah,
where is
Pixie.
he right now?
He's with my mom.
Oh,
He's with my mom.
good.
She's got a Weimaraner, and they are the complete opposite. He's 12 years old and tiny, and she's 2 and full of energy.
Yeah.
And they
We
go
met her. Do you
crazy.
remember?
Yeah, we've got a
we met
picture.
her at the softball game one night.
She's in our
Oh,
picture.
that Weim,
yeah,
it
she's in our
was
picture.
there,
Yeah,
yeah.
Beautiful dog.
She is. She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
She's lovely. Close with my mom, my brother, my grandpa. They all live up here. I'm moving my mom to Florida next week, actually. She's moving down to Pensacola.
Really?
Yes. Yep.
That's
She's going to be
huge.
beach life, so I can go do a long weekend on the beach with her.
We may
I'm
have
excited
already
about that.
planned a group just work
Yeah.
trip.
Yeah.
It's more- yeah, that could definitely be a training
Yeah,
session.
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
Think
she's
about
Absolutely.
getting she's got a 4-bedroom house and multiple offices in the house too.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
I mean, she's got the double screens. I taught her. Well, she came into my office and she's like, "How do you work with all of these screens?" And I'm like, "It's the only way. It's the only way."
I agree. What about you, Sam?
Oh, yeah, I have my husband gave. It's our anniversary today, so
Oh,
mwah,
happy
shout out.
Hey,
Shout out.
congratulations.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank
Congrats,
you.
Gabe.
It has been 8 wonderful years of marriage.
8 years.
Yes,
8
and
years.
10 together. So it's been great. And we have a teenager, Daisy. And she's getting ready to get her license. She's getting into some nursing and stuff classes. She's loving that. And we have a toddler, Bo, little Bam Bam. He has changed our world the last few years. And we have a Chihuahua. Yeah.
Are you excited for Stacy turning 16?
Oh, Daisy, yes.
I'm
Daisy.
sorry,
Yeah, well, no,
Daisy?
you're fine. No, we accidentally named
Misheard,
our
I'm
children
sorry.
after the Dukes of Hazzard. We did not mean that. So we have a Daisy May and a Bo.
Oh, okay.
How do you spell
I
Bo,
misheard.
by the
I'm
way?
sorry.
B-E-A-U. Because we're
Yeah, we have a neighbor that has a son named Bo. It's the first time we had heard that. But same
Yeah,
spelling. Go ahead.
yeah,
sorry.
that was the only male name that stuck. I just threw all of them out, and everyone agreed on that, and I was like, I'm good with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's our little Bo, and yeah, I'm excited. Daisy will be turning 17. She's already 16, so she'll be getting her license, and it's.
That's where I was going with that question. It's
Yeah.
we were just talking, I think, with Chris Adkins a few weeks ago. It's one of the best days ever.
Is it?
Yes.
When your
It is.
child gets their
Yes,
license?
yes.
No
It's
more
as
chauffeur?
good almost as when you got your license.
Oh, I remember that.
This is
was-
controversial, by the way.
the
Not
coolest day
everyone
ever.
agrees with this. A lot of people mourn that moment. Explain why you were so excited about it.
Well, because as explained, everything flips now. You've been having to run them all over creation. Now, all of a sudden, not only can they take themselves, they actually become helpful and they can bring things to you.
That is
Everything's
true.
different. And yeah, it's a big life thing. I'm happy for you.
Build in
You'll see what I
DoorDash.
mean.
Yeah.
That's what that is. Build in DoorDash.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, cool. So when it comes to, we had some conversations. They got to come down and hang out at the home office for a day and a half now. You guys came in Sunday night, ate at our Waffle House.
We did.
They ate at our Waffle House.
Love Waffle
Oh,
House.
It was good.
A few things do Jeff and I agree on, much like we do on the deliciousness of Waffle House.
It's top.
Yeah, it's one of the best things. Yeah. Well, anyways, so you guys came in town. You got to hang out at the castle for a little while. You were around Chris Atkins some. I want to apologize about that. And then, just generally speaking, what was your experience like in Barbersville? Was it fun coming back here? Is it how
It
you
is.
pictured?
It is. It was nice to actually get to explore the office a little bit. The last time we came, it was a little bit crowded, but it's your office. That office space is just, that house is beautiful.
Cool.
It is. It's gorgeous. Barboursville. It's so cute. It's so quaint. We both came from small town, so it's nice to have that little hometown feel. I'm always nostalgic for it.
Yeah.
I do feel right at home here.
I do absolutely.
Awesome. Well, that's a cool experience.
Absolutely.
Sam and I got a chance to talk today for just a little while. And we were talking about the explosive growth that you're having in Bloomington. Both of you guys are having just ridiculous growth at your offices. You're growing in number of employees and clients that are sent to you. You guys are forming really strong marketing plans, and you're implementing those. You're growing your office staff. Both of you took over offices or started offices that were quite a bit smaller than where they are now, and you've grown. You've added new staff. You went through all these changes, and understanding that these patterns exist. That in the coming months, next year, your office is going to look very different than it does today in a lot of ways. What advice would you give to directors that are listening to this that are trying to prepare themselves for an office that's at nearly 10,000 hours, or an office that was at 1,000 hours and then hit 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 hours a month? What are you guys? What have you done? What advice would you give a director that's getting ready to go through that same phase?
For us, we can't hire enough. That's most of our morning is hiring. We have to have great caregivers in place, obviously, to be able to accept referrals and everything from the VA. Honestly, just to me, taking time to a little bit to get to know the caregivers and really trying to get to know the client and realizing that they are, like, I took a lot away from our first meeting from your wife, actually, about the levels of crisis and being able to put yourself in their shoes and really talking to them and seeing how you can help them and just check in. I know sometimes it's hard to check in with them. There's so many people that need help, and you're constantly getting calls all day. But if you can just even to send, like, ask them, do you text? Can I text you? And just text and be like, hey, is everything going okay? And being able to have that, because I mean, word of mouth is everything. It is everything. And a bad experience, I mean, I don't want that for anyone. I know that what we're doing is some of the, I mean, it's life-changing to some people. So I just, checking in is really my biggest piece of advice, I think.
Awesome.
And I agree with everything she just said. And just a little something different. I think building a great team. We talked about that earlier, knowing where your strengths are and where your weaknesses are, and build that team around your weaknesses. Because having one whole team is going to help you more than, like you said, having 3 people with the same strengths.
Yeah,
then you're
absolutely.
still going to have those weaknesses lingering out there, and you're going to feel those. So I think when bringing Courtney in, that was what I did. Comb through resumes, and I was like, she has what I don't have, and I love that. So I want to see what that does when we put that together. And it just was so organic, and it worked so great. So that's my biggest advice, and just keeping in touch with your caregivers. We get praises, and I think I immediately text them or call them, and I just want you to know what was said about you today, because you don't know what kind of day they're having. They could be having a horrible week or a bad day, and just that might be what brings them out of it and motivates them and keeps them going.
Sure.
We all need that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, when I hear you talk about, you've both mentioned it, so the stressful days, and you talk about how Sarah has spoken about it, dealing with that, and you mentioned, like, what is your go-to sort of when you're having that? It's funny, I'm sitting here thinking about it. It is a stressful job. There's no denying that. But why is that? Is more interesting to me. It's not that hard of a job. We're not trying to launch rockets into outer space. We're not having to do brain surgery or build a bridge here. I think it's really, there's no predictability that day. It's totally unpredictable, and that is a stressful thing. It's funny that humans can get that stressed out about simply just not knowing what's going to happen in a couple hours. Because whatever it is, again, it's not that hard of a thing to fix in the literal sense, but boy, that really can take a toll on you.
It does for me, because I just feel like you put a ton of work in. I know a lot of people outside the office don't see how much work you put into maybe even just staffing one person, and if that might fall apart the next day and something happened. I just feel that, because I know that's gonna hurt the person, because they were expecting something and I'm not gonna be able to deliver like I thought I would. So I guess I just own that, and I take that hard. So that's why it's so stressful to me.
Yeah, and also you're both strong, independent female leaders. I kind of want to ask, especially you have a daughter, being that kind of a strong leader, role model in your community, I mean, does that mean something special to you, especially as a woman?
It means everything to me. I wish I could be as strong as my daughter, and I'm so impressed with her all the time. She's going to be twice as strong as I ever thought about it, and it does mean a lot to me when I see that she notices, what I did when I took some time off work. It took a toll on her because I don't think she knew what to think about that.
Huh.
She grew up with me being a student and working, and when I was at home, I think she was like, "Wait, what's happened? You need to get back out there." So she was a big motivator of getting me back out there.
That's neat. That's why I asked the question. I had a feeling that might be the case.
Oh, it was absolutely 100%. She motivated me to get back out there.
Yeah, and so as a female, do you feel like that's caused your office to take shape in a certain way, in a unique, neat way?
Yeah, I definitely do. I mean, I grew up with a lot of the people in my family are nurses and stuff, so I've always had that I want to be able to help. I just didn't know if nursing was going to be the right avenue for me, but this is a very different way to be able to help people. But I mean, like, especially the girls in the office too, like Shauna and Elizabeth are absolutely amazing. They came from really different places. Shauna was actually a caregiver, so she knows the hardships and stuff, how hard of a job caregiving is. I mean, it's sometimes a thankless job. I mean, like, you're dealing with people who are sometimes unhappy or having a really hard time in their life, and that they take it out on a person, and it's sometimes it is thankless. But I think being able to help and being being great at our job and constantly forging forward, it definitely, like, we're very I don't know. Indy is very female forward. We're definitely female forward. We're like, we are our group is the VCG Indy Queens.
VCG Queens.
Yes.
There you
yeah.
go.
That's
have
our
a
group chat.
I sense it.
Yeah.
No, I asked that question because, really, truthfully, you're both you've had so much success, and you're a pleasure to be around in your office. Is just something that both of them, that I really admire. I mean, it's a great job, so I want to learn as much about it as I can so it can help me too. But bravo, yeah.
Thank you. I don't know. We also definitely couldn't do it without your guys' support.
No,
like,
yeah.
I mean, truly though, like I say it, I don't know if I say it enough, but like, you guys, the way you let us run our office and run the offices and understand that we're doing the best for your company and we're doing the best for our caregivers, like, you doing right by us makes us want to do right by the people that we're in charge of. And I mean, we have great role models to learn off. You guys are the best, obviously.
Yeah. Appreciate you saying that.
Thank you guys. I do appreciate that. Every podcast we kind of go through this part of the podcast that some people really find very, very exciting. Specifically, Jim. This part of the segment is what we refer to as the fishbowl. Okay.
Fishbowl.
Okay.
You guys everyone just kind of looks at it.
Okay.
Has this turned into sort of my weekly therapy
I
session?
think so.
I can get some of these things out. This is my only outlet.
I think it's important that you get these out.
Oh boy, there's important stuff in there.
In the event that we ever get canceled, you should still keep a fishbowl and just put these things in. Sarah can dump them out weekly.
Wouldn't you agree, Sam, that the best way to describe these thoughts is important?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the term you would use. You don't feel like that was a leading question at all.
No.
That's what you would have went
I
with.
reference these all the time. Where's the link?
Well,
Thank you.
let's see what gold we've been delivered this week. You know what really bothers Jeff Stevens is after he gives a good hearty sneeze, someone says something afterwards. In fact, he would go as far as to say that he doesn't like when people say anything after he sneezes. Thoughts?
Like, you don't like someone to say bless you?
I don't like it.
You don't like
I don't
it?
really want someone to acknowledge that either. I don't. Like, why are we acknowledging a sneeze? I know
Yes.
it's just, no.
Go on.
Yeah, I mean, I know why they do.
I need a teammate on this.
I mean, I know
I can-
why they do, but I just don't want it to be acknowledged.
Okay, so no bless you, no. Oof.
I
It's true,
apologize,
like, no.
but I think it's
No.
ingrained in me. But if it's a multiple sneeze scenario,
Oh, you're
don't
getting the
keep
one.
doing it.
Yeah.
That annoys me. If
Yes.
someone
Like, if you're
is having
sick,
a
though.
sneezing fit and they're like, bless you, bless you, bless you, it's like, come on. The first one's done. But
Yeah.
I think it's ingrained in me. So if I ever do it, I apologize.
Well, just try not to.
I'll try not to.
I won't. I'll just
What
act
I'll
like
do
it,
is
I'll
I'll
act
go-
like it didn't happen.
Yeah.
I'll say bless you and then I'll go, oh, I'm sorry.
Let me
So
ask
it'll
you.
just be more.
You know, I sneeze. Okay, as a human bodily function, you gotta say something.
Yeah.
Gesundheit, bless you,
No.
excuse you. Like just calm down.
Let's just act like it didn't happen.
What? Yes.
Okay.
I mean, it's pointless, really.
It is.
And then it's also, you ever notice, say there's 2 or 3 people maybe you're in a room,
Oh, boy.
right? It might happen right now today. I
you.
sneeze. You get 2 or 3 people saying, "Oh, bless you, excuse you." Like it's a contest all of a sudden. I don't need any of this. Just calm down. It's a sneeze.
I'll tell you what we've unfortunately done at our house. We have the 2 little ones, and it becomes a point of roasting people. Like when you really let one out, we let you hear about it at our house. Goodness gracious, what is wrong with you? Is that COVID? I mean, we just attack. I don't care if it's my 8-year-old daughter, if it's my wife. We're letting them have it wherever we are in the house. If I hear a sneeze 3 rooms down, I'm making a comment about it.
That I like.
Yeah.
That adds a different element.
That is a different element.
You'll think about
That is
sneezing around
different.
me again.
Shame.
So do you, like, when you guys are in the office, because you guys are
We're close.
you're close, but
Yeah.
you have the kitchen.
Yeah.
Do you scream when Jeff sneezes, like, across
Oh,
to make it awkward?
I
since
can
he
tell
hates
you
it?
that moving forward, if I even begin to think I hear a sneeze coming from his office, I am storming down the hall, screaming, "Bless you, good man."
You could text us. We could email a bless
Yes,
you.
yeah, I want to get this going company wide.
I'm just never going to sneeze again. You know, Jeff Heflin will let out a monster sneeze.
it's
This has
scary.
been a
Yeah.
joke for years, and he's down the hallway. It shakes the building, and
Scares
this
you,
guy
yeah.
sneezes.
Yeah.
And, you know, you could hurt yourself with some of those sneezes.
What if? I mean, would this be a level of hell for you if you were in the annual meeting in December and you're up at the podium and you let a little sneeze out on accident and the entire room responds?
Only
Yes.
the Midwesterns would.
It's so great. I mean, I'm not wishing illness
I want
on
to
you.
say I've been a little hateful on the topic, and I understand that for a lot of people it's coming from a place of politeness and manners. Either way, I'm just saying stop doing it.
It's not necessary.
It's totally
We're
unnecessary.
canceling it moving forward.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've got time for one more. You guys interested to see?
Yes.
Sure.
All right.
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see what happens here. Now, you guys can't have the same answer for this, I wouldn't imagine. But let me
Okay.
ask you
We
this.
did in the last one.
Yeah. What is your single favorite thing on earth?
That's
Let's take. It
We
cannot be a
can't.
living object.
Okay,
Let's
good.
take that
Okay,
off.
yeah,
'cause
yeah,
now,
okay, I
now
was
you're gonna
like,
have
yeah.
to pick and
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
hard.
And let's be honest, it wasn't going to be that anyways. But let's continue.
He was hoping you'd say him.
Yeah. That's a good question.
That is a good question.
I don't give you credit enough for these.
I'm
gonna give you my favorite feeling, I think.
Oh, a feeling.
Yeah,
Okay.
like just it feels just wonderful. You know, if you go on a run or just a long day,
Yeah.
anything, taking your socks off,
Oh.
like especially when it's hot out, like
Yeah.
and just letting your toes breathe.
I see.
I don't like socks very much. I'm strictly sandal, so
Pretty out
I mean,
on the socks. Okay.
yeah, I like wintertime is hard for me because I can't wear open-toed shoes. Immediately want to take my socks off in the car.
What a great answer.
And that's something you get to do every day.
Put right on the spot, and you got to think of something, and it's so unique. That's perfect. That's what we're
Yes.
going after right there.
Okay.
sorry, mine's not that
My
unique,
my
probably.
sneeze buddy.
Yeah.
I'll get your back no matter what you say. You guys, do you all have anything?
If I would have said that, the roasting I would have received.
Oh,
My favorite thing. You go ahead and go. I'm
my,
thinking on it.
My favorite thing and what makes me the happiest, calmest, everything is just being near a body of water. So I fell in love with Michigan. My in-laws took us there a few years ago and then just went this past year. And know how great that feels. And I just feel at most peace, like everything is just gone and you're just there in that moment. So that's my most favorite thing.
Yeah, I think that's a really common thing. If
It is,
look at
yeah.
psychological textbooks, just being near water, it does something.
What's yours?
Onion.
Okay. That's a
Just,
great answer.
just onion.
Just an onion. I've just learned not to ask additional questions.
Austin's nodding along over here. Big onion guy? Yes. Listen, this is the only thing I'll say about it. I've taken a white bread, roast beef, mayo, and a big old cold, crisp, crunchy onion, yellow raw onion.
I'm with you.
Whenever I bite into that, and that way that onion crunches and tastes in my mouth, it makes me happy to live to be a 90-year-old, feeble old man, because at least I may not have much, but I'm going to be able to eat into that onion. That's the kind of comfort it's given me about growing old. Now, I can't say that about very many objects on the earth, but onion.
That's it.
Onion.
It's really, that was a good answer.
Yeah.
Are you going to be able to follow it up?
Yeah.
No, I'm really struggling. I'm usually not at a loss for words, but
We'll come back to it on the next episode.
Okay.
Give you a week to think about it.
Well, I will say that here recently, the chatter of the podcast has been the declaration that Chris Atkins eats a full apple core.
Yes.
This
Yeah.
has been chatter. I've received emails, text messages. I was at a wedding this past weekend. People were talking about it there. Today, I heard one person say, what I told them we were coming to the podcast, they said that their biggest regret was that an apple only had one core instead of two. I mean,
That was Chris.
yeah, it was Chris
Yeah,
that
it
said
was Chris
that.
that said
Yeah,
that.
It was Chris. That was.
I did watch him eat this apple.
We watched it
whole.
yesterday, and I honestly, until you see it, it's really hard to just wrap your head around it. I think it is.
It's impressive.
Yeah. Have you tried it yet?
No,
Okay.
Are you going to?
I am going to. I haven't had an apple yet.
Yeah, few things have carried over from week to week like
You
this.
got any apples around here? We do? All right, we'll do it on the next show.
Okay.
Chris, this is probably going to bring Chris, like, this is going to be like Christmas morning for him.
Yeah, this is a big deal for Chris.
He'll think he's changing the world.
Well, guys, honestly, we can't thank you enough for making the trip down. Anytime that folks come in town, we appreciate it. But when you guys come in, it's always a really good time. And it's just so awesome to be able to watch you guys grow in your roles, watch your markets grow, watch all the exciting things that you're doing in Indiana. Indiana is quickly, by the way, running down Kentucky, Ohio, and West Virginia as one of our largest states. And you guys are a tremendous reason for
Yeah,
that. So
girlfriend.
thank you so much. Thanks for taking the time and coming down doing the podcast with us.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
having
for
us.
having us.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys
Thank
didn't
you all.
bring drinks. You didn't want anything, but cheers to
didn't.
you guys, all right?
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Thanks.